How to use the large yellow remote pendant for your pile driver conveyor. The first step is to check the emergency stop buttons. Look for the two emergency stop buttons. One is on the front of the electrical box. The other is on the big yellow remote. Make sure neither button is pushed in. If they are, turn them to pop them out. Turning on the main power disconnect. Find the main power switch on the front of the electrical box and switch it to the on position. Look at the bottom left corner of the touchscreen. There will be a white rectangle that says push to continue. Press and hold this rectangle for about 3 seconds and the screen will change and become ready for use. Plugging in the large remote pendant. If the pendant is not attached to the electrical box, remove the plug at the bottom of the electrical box. Next, plug in the big yellow remote pendant into the bottom of the electrical box. Setting the black selector switch to remote mode. Find the black switch on the front of the electrical box and turn the switch to the remote position. Starting the hydraulic pump motor. Press the green hydraulic start button on the front of the electrical box. The hydraulic pump motor will start and the big yellow remote pendant will be ready for use. Yellow remote pendant functions. The remote has rows of black and white buttons that, when pressed and held individually, one at a time, will move electronic valves that control hydraulic cylinders and motors. They control in or out movements to position different parts on the system and location of the conveyor. The right gull wing buttons. These buttons will lower the right radial travel wheels and have the ability to level the conveyor. The left gull wing buttons. These buttons will lower the left radial travel wheels and have the ability to level the conveyor. The next row of buttons is for both gull wings. These buttons, when pressed one at a time, will move both left and right side gull wings up and down together. The next row of buttons are for radial travel. These buttons move the conveyor left or right, radially, depending on which individual button is pressed in and held. Below the radial travel buttons are the extension conveyor in and out buttons. When pressed, the extension conveyor will move in or out, depending on which button you are using. Below the extension conveyor buttons are the angle down and up buttons. When one of these buttons is pressed one at a time, the conveyor angle will raise or lower depending on the button that is pressed. These buttons will control the height of the pile. The large yellow remote pendant only moves cylinders in the system that control position of the conveyor or placement of the pile. The remote pendant does not start the conveyor belts. Once the conveyor is in the right place, find the extension conveyor and main conveyor start buttons on the front of the electrical box. Press the extension conveyor start button first and let the conveyor get up to speed. After the extension conveyor is turning for a few seconds, you then can press the main conveyor start button. This completes this operating procedure. Please scan the other QR codes for other operating procedures.